Okay, whatever. Sounds like there's some overcompensation issues there.
A little bit. I don't know.
I'm trying to get everything set, so just bear with me a second. Doing that again, I can't stand when it does that.
Smoke.
Okay, Oconee Hall, did the one person show up? I guess not. So we're going to look at Oconee Hall's door the whole time. Miss Crittenden. Amy Crittenden, are you at the Oconee campus? Okay. I'm not going to shut it down because she may show up. All right. Let me go ahead and pull up my handy dandy email. Those of you that brought your handouts, get them out. Those of you that have a dumbass look on your face, you need to start checking your email. I love the people that this is like the second year in college and they don't check their freaking email. Okay, first thing, locator card. Locator card is basically how you find me. Now, we're going to talk about this in several different ways on how to find me. The best way to find me is to use a dadgum cell phone. That's the best way to find me. I have a cell phone like everybody else, and you need to use it. So don't pull that, oh, I sent you an email and I can't find your office, because I'm going to cover all of that. Not a big deal. Monday and Wednesday is about the only days that I'm just about booked up. You know, that 10 to 11, that's not right, because I've got, if you'll look at the times of the classes, from 8 to 9:25, 9:35 to 11, 11:15, or 11:10 to 12:35, and 12:45 to 2:10, I'm back to back from 8 to 2. So Monday and Wednesday's out. So you can pretty much X out Monday and Wednesday as far as office hours. But if you need to come by and ask a quick question, that's not a big deal. I'll be in those rooms. Make a note that AC236 will be AC204. This right here, and that's just for your information. Right there, 204, and right here, 204. I switched that today. Other than that, everything else is. And X this out, and X that out, because that's, I don't have any time between 11 and 11:10. I don't have an hour between 11 and 11:10. It's only 10 minutes. I just looked at that one. Okay. That's where you will find me, and I'll tell you how to find me better in a few minutes. But I have to hand those out to you so y'all won't have that excuse. I cover a lot of excuses around here, so you might want to write them down. That's the first one. How do I know where you are? When you're in your office. That's it. When you're in your office. I don't know when you're in your office. Whatever. Forwarding your TCTC email to your phone. Okay? These are all on MyLabs Plus also, so you won't have the excuse if I didn't get your email. These are all on MyLabs Plus also. This is iPhone, how to forward your TCTC email to your phone. And this is Android. About the same thing, just do it with Exchange. Okay, so that's how you forward that. I think this is very important. I do communicate with the class through email. So I usually write several emails a semester pertaining to tests, pertaining to days that I'm not going to show up for class, pertaining to if I'm going to be late. But y'all's class is right after my other class, so I won't be late for this class. I shouldn't be, unless I'm somewhere on campus at a meeting or something. So that's that. Well, I guess there it is. A little bit about me. Now, a lot of people say, well, why are you telling me about you? Because there's a reason, 2 reasons. One reason is for this number right here. Write that number down. For those that can't see it, I'll write it even bigger. That's my cell phone number. Now, that I don't want to be a drinking buddy or anything like that, but I want to give you that number so anything having to do with your grade is an emergency. Now, what does that mean? Well, if you're going to be out for 2 or 3 weeks because of illness, if you're going to be out because of a wreck, if you're going to be out because of a trip or being out of town, I need to know that. Okay? Don't be like the DA student that told me she went on a cruise at Great Turn-In and she missed a Unit 3 test, and she's telling me now because she made a C instead of an A. I'm sorry, but Great Turn-In is not the time to tell me that you went on a cruise. And plus, it's very hard to miss one of my tests because they're online and it takes a week. I give you a week and then give you a week at the end of the semester to do anything that's incomplete. So she didn't have a leg to stand on. You contact me before. Now, what if you're incapacitated and in a coma? Then you have your dadgum mama or daddy call me. Or let them notify tech, and we'll do something. If you're in a coma, that's more detrimental than being sick. But we'll work something out, okay? It's got my office phone. I'm never in my office. I'm always in the lobby. I'm in my classroom. About the only time that you'll see me in my office is Friday, 9 to 12. That's when you'll see me in my office pretty much. And those times on Tuesday and Thursday. On Monday and Wednesday, I'm in here and out of here because I got to pick up my son at junior high, Robert Anderson. I pick him up at 2:30, 3 o'clock. Well, I got to get in line like at 2:30. So on Monday and Wednesday, I'm probably not going to be here after class. My email address, I don't even use this one anymore. I need to change it. This one goes to my Hubert C. McClure at gmail.com. I don't know why you would use it because you could just text me if you wanted to. But I put several forms of information on there so you don't have the excuse, I didn't know how to get in contact with you. Another excuse that I'm covering. All right? I even give you directions to my office. Why'd I do that? Where's your office? Take care of that. Now, let's talk about my response to your questions. All right? My response to your questions, if I've covered that material, is I have no idea. Okay? So tomorrow, if you was to come up to me in the hallway and say, I want to come by your office and ask you blah, 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 where's your office? I have no idea. Because why? I have given you that information. Okay? Now, I'm using that as loosely because, you don't know where my office is, and that's a very vague, but I've given you that information. You should be able to find my office based on that information. Okay? What if you ask me one of the questions that I covered today? I'm going to say I have no idea. Okay? Now, some of you may say, well, he's a bastard. No, I'm not. Okay? I am a person that I've been through college, I've been through the military, I've been through a war, and you are adults. I'm going to treat you like adults. I'm not going to treat you like kindergartners. And I'm not going to treat you like 6th graders. And there are people that want to be treated like that, and I'm not going to do it. Okay? And we have people here at Tri-County that want us to treat you like kindergartners, and I'm not going to do it. So, when I give you this information, I'm not giving you this information to kill trees. I'm not giving you this information because I was told to give you this information. I'm giving you this information because it's information that you need to know, so I don't have to tell you 5 or 6 times during the semester, and I don't have to tell 150 students 5 or 6 times in the semester. And if some of you had to deal with some of the repetitive questions that I have to deal with, you would understand what I'm talking about. So, if I give you this information on a piece of paper or a email like this, or on the handouts that are on MyLab Plus, don't expect me to answer a question that is on these handouts over and over again. Okay? And I'm just saying that. I'm not trying to be, if you'll ask any of my, and I've got, I don't know, you look familiar. How do I know you? Were you in my class?
I think so.
Or advisor? I think I advised you, didn't I? Okay. Anybody else been in my class? 120? Okay. 120? And you were in 110, right? Okay. 3 of you have had me. I don't know about anybody at the other campuses had me before. Okay? I'm going to ask one of my students here, am I a mean person or fair? Very fair. Okay? I don't want to come across as some SOB trying to tell y'all that I'm not. I'm just trying to set my foot down right now and establish the way I work. Okay? The way I work is you read the handouts, you read the syllabus, you have the information for the classroom. You don't have to ask me just to hear me, because you don't want to read or because you're too lazy to print out the handouts. That's not my concern. Okay? And I have to say that because I have some people that are just suffer from LAD syndrome. LAD syndrome. Lazy attitude disorder. Okay? So, and I don't like lazy attitude disorder. All right, so that's a little bit of information about me, especially my information right here. And 2 bonus questions on your test come from this handout. 2, which is about 6 or 8 points on a test. 2 questions come from this handout. So if you choose to be lazy and not print it out and not read it, that's up to you. All right, go to your cry closet if you need to. There may be a puppy in there waiting for you. All right, next. Class courtesies. My class courtesies are, I treat students the way I want to be treated. That's my number 1 rule. Because if you take that rule, you can apply that rule to every facet of a classroom. Whether it be your decorum, whether it be your respectfulness, or whether it be your professionalism, or whether it be using your phone in class. Okay? My phone is right here, and it goes off. You don't have a heart attack? I don't have a heart attack when yours goes off. What I do have a heart attack about is when you're rude. When you're rude and unprofessional, it's when you text or answer a phone call while I'm talking math. Now, if I'm sitting up here eating breakfast and it's 10 minutes before class, you're welcome to talk on your telephone and text on your telephone and do whatever you want to. The minute I start talking about math or start talking about the class, that's when the phone rule goes into effect. The phone rule is, I have 3 numbers on my dadgum phone that I answer. My mother, my daughter, and my son. If they call when I am teaching, that means something's wrong, and I go outside in the hallway to answer it. I'm expecting the same behavior from you. Okay? That's it. Simple as that. I say yes, sir, and no, sir to you. You say yes, sir, no, sir to me. If I say yes, ma'am, don't call me ma'am, but yes, sir. The same time, and I'm using that as an example. You don't have to say yes, sir to me, but if I treat you with respect, you treat me with respect. You try to embarrass me, I've got 20-something years on you. I can embarrass you just as much as you can embarrass me. I'm not using that as a threat. I'm just saying, if you treat me in a bad way, I'm going to treat you in a bad way. I have been teaching for 22 plus years. Can anybody guess how many people I've had to throw out of class? How do you know that?
It's red.
It's written.
It is? I didn't know that in there? Yeah. 3. So you read it?
Yeah.
We actually had somebody read one. I feel faint.
Like 3 episodes.
Oh my gosh, 3 people.
74.
And they had 2 things in common. Can anybody tell me what they had in common?
They weren't willing.
They were arrogant asses. Yeah, they were arrogant. And they were all males. So males, y'all got 1 strike against you, okay? Sorry about that, but I've never thrown out a know-it-all female. Because know-it-all females have enough sense to keep their mouth what? Shut. Okay? I've never met a know-it-all female. Have y'all? I haven't. If you have, I'd like to meet them, but you're probably married to one if you're married, so I'm not going to go there. I'm not married anymore. No, shut up, Hubert. All right, the whole point is I'm very laid back. If everything goes good, we're going to have a good time together, okay? If somebody makes this room uncomfortable, I'm going to address it, and I'm pretty much going to tell you to stay at home. If you make this class uncomfortable, I will ask you to either drop the class or stay at home and Skype in. And I can mute you in. Okay? All right. So, this is not an online class. Attendance, I will take attendance the first 2 weeks. After that, I could care less. Again, I'm not here to escort you to the bathroom, and I'm not here to coddle you. You're adults. You come to class when you want to. It doesn't matter to me. I do not believe in redistribution of anything. If you work hard and you make a 98, you deserve that 98. I'm not going to take 8 points off of your grade and give it to some sandbagger who didn't study, who didn't do the work. Okay? That's called redistribution. I don't believe in it. Okay? So, and forget the curve in here. All right? I don't believe in that. People that work their butt off, they get, what is it? The victor? Oh, what does it say? The victor goes to spoils. Okay. The ones that work get an A. The ones that don't work, flunk. Period. Very analytical. I generalize when I speak. I don't sit at home and say, well, that girl that sits up there at the Easley campus on the left-hand side of the room, I don't like her, so I'm going to embarrass her and I'm going to try to get her to drop. No. I have a life outside of Tri-County Tech, and I don't sit at home and say, how can I get this person to drop so I can have 1 less person to grade? Okay? I want everybody to pass my class. Long as you make the room comfortable, we're going to be good. If you got a loud mouth and arrogant, we're going to have problems. And there's the people I don't like, the know-it-alls. It used to be the deadheads. But the deadheads around 2000, the deadheads, it's just like they disappeared, and then the high schools were putting out these people. It's amazing. I don't know what happened. Just all of a sudden, we get a bunch of high school graduates that know everything. And they don't know their butt from a hole in the ground. But people think they know everything. That's why they're going to Tri-County Technical College instead of MIT and Yale and Harvard. Okay, and I'm a graduate of Tri-County Tech. If it wasn't for Tri-County Tech, I wouldn't have been able to go to Clemson. Okay, so that's the way you pronounce Clemson. You do not pronounce the P because then you're a dumb racist Southerner. So you have to pronounce Clemson. You have to put the Z in there. Okay, there's no P, but they put a Z in there. If you're not listening to the ESPN, they'll tell you how to pronounce it. Okay, question on that. That's pretty much self-explanatory. And no, I do not talk about, I love college football. Okay, let me go ahead and get this straight right now. All right, I love college football. I wanted to go to University of Georgia. I wanted to be a veterinarian when I was little, so I love the dogs. I love the SEC. Okay, I don't like the All Children's Conference, so we're gonna have a problem right there. All right, sorry, I'm an SEC fan, so I'm gonna pull for my dogs. Sorry, and I love college football. Some of y'all are going to go to the crying closet after that statement. But anyway, next, the syllabus. Syllabus is written by a bunch of bureaucrats, so you can't understand it. So don't read it. Go down to the bottom, and you will get to the part that you need to read. What is that? That right there. Mark this down, highlight it, write it in your notebooks right now, because this is a bonus question. This is another 2 or 3 points you can get on my test. Right here. 80% test, 20% homework. If you don't do a test, if you don't do a homework assignment, what grade is turned in? A 0. Okay, I don't want none of these people coming to me at the end of the semester going, oh, I didn't do 5.6 homework. Well, then you got a 0. Oh, I didn't know I was going to get a 0. Yeah, whatever. How many times have you been sitting in a classroom in K through 12 and you didn't do assignment and got 100 for it? Never. Oh, you're not supposed to say that. I'll throw you out of class. Okay? So you get a 0 for not doing what? Work. I understand why we've got a misconception about 0 and work. No work. I don't understand that. And we finally got a lot of school districts to get rid of the BS grading system. The BS grading system. In other words, we've got a lot of problems with teaching our students, but instead of fixing problems, we're going to inflate the grading system. We're going to manipulate the grading system. Well, they finally got rid of it around here. So now, not here, Tri-County, but around the districts, I think everybody's on the right scale, grading scale, and that is a 10-point grading scale. And hopefully they'll stay that way for a while, 90 to 100, and I'm not going to go through all that. Y'all can read. That's not a bonus question, but the weights are, that is a bonus question. So make sure you make a note of that. Okay? Next question. Outline. There should be an outline. Was there an outline on that one? Sometimes, and this is, some of the teachers put an outline on the syllabus and some of them don't. Let me see. Yeah, they did. Let me pull it back up. The most important handout of all the handouts in the syllabi is right here. Make a note. You need to print this out. If you've got a notebook with a pocket or a cover on the outside, a plastic cover on the outside, that needs to go in it. Tell me why. There's 2 reasons. Well, there's one of 2 reasons I want you to learn this. Why do I want you to have this in front of you and to have it visible at all times? Why?
Keep track of what you're learning and when.
It's amazing. To keep track of what and when you're learning in this classroom. Now, a lot of you say, well, what do you mean? Well, if you miss a day, let's say I go over 8.1 today, and I go over half of 8.2 today, and then Thursday, or whatever time y'all come back, that's another thing. If I say tomorrow, I don't need some butthead telling me, we don't come to school tomorrow. Tomorrow's, shut up. Okay? If I tell you tomorrow in this class means what?
Thursday.
Next class, Thursday. Thank you. I don't need some pinhead going, sir, we don't come to school on Wednesday. I only come on Monday. Shut up. That's why I'm not married, okay? That's why I'm not married, because I can't deal with people who split hairs, okay? I can't deal with it, all right? That drives me crazy. But the reason I give you this is if I teach 8.1 and half of 8.2 on today, and then I teach Thursday, I do 8.2 and 8.3, then what do you think I'm going to be teaching the next Tuesday? 8.4. Okay, let's say that you miss a day, and the last thing I covered was 8.2, and the next day I covered 8.4. You missed 8.3. It's as simple as that. But I have people that come to me after being out a week, and I'm sorry, even though trig classes are a little bit higher scale, and I still have to deal with not as many DAs, but I have to deal with some, they will come up to me after they have missed a class, and I just covered 8.4, and the last time they were here, I covered 8.2, and they will sit there and ask me, what did we go over? I have no idea, is my answer. Okay? Not only do you have this, But what is I'm the only teacher on this campus, and I'm the only teacher probably at Tri-County Tech that I know of that does what? Anybody want to take a guess?
Leave the dates blank.
I record my classes.
Oh, yeah.
I record everything that I put up here. Y'all seeing a pattern to everything I do? Everything I do covers an excuse. Everything I do. So that means that when you miss today's lecture, you can pull it up on YouTube. And I'll show you that in just a little bit. So not only do you have the outline of the class, you have a video of the class every day, so therefore you don't have to ask me, what did we go over? Okay, so that covers that. So the outline is the most important handout of all the handouts. And if you have insomnia, read the syllabus. I guarantee you before you get rid of Objective 1, you'll be asleep. Because that's written by Columbia bureaucrats. And if you can understand it, more power to you. Next handout is the MyLabs Plus student login. Now, this is an important handout because it's got like 15,000 pages, but it has very important information, mainly this page right here. I want you to notice these three. Well, I lost my whiteboard. These three things right here say access code, buy now, and pay later. Okay, write this down if you don't have handouts. There's only three ways to get an access code for MyLabs Plus. One, with your book. If you buy a new book, you will get an access code packaged with your book. It'll be in a cardboard pamphlet, and it'll have a scratch off or it'll have a pull off tab for the 16-digit code. The second way, is in the bookstore. So access code with a book, or you can get your access code at the bookstore. Well, why would you get it at the bookstore? Well, you might have a used book. You may be sharing a book. You may have an old book. Trig and calculus has not changed in 2,000 or 3,000 years, okay? It's not going to change. You can use an old book. You can share a book. You can use your grandfather's book if you want to, okay? The whole point is it hasn't changed. The pictures have changed and the layout of the books have changed, but the material has not changed. So therefore, I do not care what you bring to class as far as a book. You can bring a paperback book that you buy, parts of the book. You can print out the ebook that you get online with MyLabs Plus. You can print it out per section and put it in a slim notebook. You can, buy a new book and you can share a book in class. I don't care what you bring to class. Buy now. When you see that, that means you can put your credit card number in and automatically you're enrolled into the course. So those are the three ways that you can get an access code. Now there's several ways that I will not mention that y'all try to go and get a cheaper access code and it turns out costing you money. And that is different avenues online that y'all go to. I'm not going to mention any names because if I mention the names, somebody will tell my department head that I told you to go to those entities and get the access code. So I'm not going to mention any, but there are several different avenues to get stuff online, and y'all try to get MyLabs Plus access code, and you'll get a History Plus lab code, History Lab code, or you'll get a My Stats Lab code, or you'll get a code that's already been used, or you'll get a code that's invalid or expired, and you've done spent $50 on something that you can't use. And then you got to turn around and buy a valid access code from the bookstore or the, so now you've got another $100 in it, so you spend $150 when everybody else spends $100. Do not try to get an access code unless you're getting it from a friend and that friend was in Trig last semester and they didn't use the code. That's the only way you would get it other than these 3 avenues right here. Okay, so I'm going on record, do not try any other avenue than those 3 avenues. Okay? We're going to talk about that all day Wednesday. That's what we're going to talk about is My Labs Plus. And we're going to talk a little bit about it today if we actually have time. Okay? And let me give you another hold on just a second. I'm trying to get there. Where is my... Oh, okay. I don't have it in the other mode. And it shows you how to go through and buy for those people that's never been on My Labs Plus. But the other thing I'm going to show you... Oh, let me go back. That expired. Okay, let me go back up here. What if you don't have the money? Pay later. You get a 21-day grace period. Now let me explain this, because if you screw this up, you're going to spend 30 minutes to an hour on the phone with My Labs Plus. Do not go over the 21-day grace period. That's for people who need to do the homework but are waiting on a scholarship refund or a Pell Grant refund or a financial aid refund or a dang old paycheck. Okay? Whichever one it is, that's what you're waiting on. Now, let's say today is the 1st of the month, and you get paid at the end of the month. You get paid on the 30th. Okay? Then you don't need to use the 21-day grace period until the what? The 9th or 10th. See what I'm saying? Because you don't want that 21 days to expire. Because if it expires, this is what happens. You get deactivated. The computer at My Labs Plus or the server will deactivate you because you went over the 21 days and you didn't pay. Then you're deactivated. Now you're going to go on, okay, I got my paycheck, I got my card, I'm going to go on and I'm going to hit buy now, and it's not going to let you do it because you've been deactivated. You've been put away in another area and you're not in the class anymore. So now you got to get online with My Labs Plus. Call the 1-800 number that I'm fixing to show you here in a minute, and you're going to be put on hold depending on what time you call. Call 2 o'clock in the morning, you might not be on hold. But if you call at 9 o'clock in the morning, you're going to be on hold for about 30, 45 minutes. Then they finally ask you, and you know, those people that work at these companies, they love to talk because they don't get out and talk to anybody. So they try to keep you on the phone as long as they can. And they talk and talk and talk and talk and get your first name and last name and get your all this. And then you end up getting reactivated. Then after you get reactivated, you have to go in and buy now and punch in your card and do everything. Don't let the 21 days expire. That's the gist of the story. Do not let the 21 days expire. So if you get paid on the 15th of the month, then yes, on the first day of the month, you can go ahead and use, because you got 6 days to punch in your number and it's not expired. Okay, so try not to let the 21 days expire. That's the only thing I ask of you, please, because that just causes a cluster and you don't need a cluster. Capiche? Capiche. Yes, I understand, Hubert. Thank you for interacting. I appreciate it. Makes the class go by a whole lot faster when you interact. Yeah, I know, it does. All right, there's the 188 number. Write that number down. Everybody in the room, write that number down, unless you got the handout. If you got the handout, then you don't need to write it down. But that is the 188. This is called anything to do with My Labs Plus. I didn't say anything about Banner. I didn't say anything about Blackboard. Just My Labs Plus. My Labs Plus username. My Labs Plus tests. My Labs Plus won't work on my computer at home. I can't log in at home, but I can log in at Tri-County Lab. What's up with my computer at home? Anything having to do with those things, you need to call that number. If you need to call Tri-County Tech's help desk, Tri-County Tech. Now, what does that have to do with? Banner, Blackboard, username, password, 646 1779. Don't get attitude with them because they'll get an attitude with you. They have job security because they work with computers and and networks, so they have job security, so they'll get an attitude right back. Be nice. They'll be nice to you if you be nice to them. We have some people that have problems being nice to people at Tri-County Tech. Have some kind of problem or something. Maybe have overcompensation issues or something. I don't know. But anyway, username, password, anything having to do with Tri-County Tech, that's their, anything having to do with Pearson or MyLabs Plus, you call that number. Do not call me, do not text me, because all I'm going to do is say call tech support, because I can't help you with the problems your home computer, because I'm not there with you, so I don't know what's going on with your home computer. Okay? All right. Now let's talk about some things that are on the last handout, and that is having to do with YouTube and all the internet sites, I think. So I thought I had YouTube pulled up, but I don't. So let's go to YouTube. And the reason I have to do this is because there's some people that can't find YouTube. We're talking about excuses is what we're talking about. Oh, I didn't know you had classes on YouTube. Whatever. Okay, so type in, how do you find me? Well, you know my name. Just search. And there it is. Click on that.
Hi, Hubert.
Who's that?
It's Carrie.
Carrie? Where?
Yeah. Huh?
You need to say your alphabet so the camera will turn around.
It's Carrie Catso FOMO.
Oh, I thought you were on Oconee campus. The Oconee campus lighting up.
No, that's Andrea. Hi, guys. I'm just seeing, I'm just checking to make sure everybody has a desk. Because they say the capacity is 15 in here. Are all 14 people here, or are you missing somebody today?
I haven't taken the roll yet, but it looks like they are.
14, okay. So are
They're
you
very
okay?
loud. I can't keep them contained. They're very loud.
I know, they seem
Yeah,
loud.
they just, there's a ball of fire.
Hi, guys. I'm the department head in math, and if you guys need anything, okay?
Go ahead,
Check it.
give them your name and number so when they complain about me, they'll know how to get in touch with you.
They'll find me.
Yeah, they'll
Okay,
find you.
all right.
Especially when I don't email them back. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They,
You guys look a little serious. This is serious. Don't take
what'd she
it
say?
seriously.
What'd she say?
Nothing. See ya.
Loser. All right. Click on this, and look there. It's a miracle. And go down here and hit Creative Playlist. Oh my gosh. All my classes for the last 5 years. Okay? Why? Why do I do this? Well, one reason is that you only have to push a button. It ain't like it's rocket science. All right? And the second reason I do it is because students sometimes need to reinforce what they learned in class. Have you ever been in a classroom? Is somebody in the Oconee campus room?
The dark, the room's dark. I don't think there's anybody there. I
Yeah,
think
but
it's
the
just
blue.
echoing from your voice.
Yeah, that must be what it is. Okay, well, then that person hadn't showed up, so I'm going to take them out, and that way I get to bring there we go. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be one on each. So we just won't invite the Oconee campus anymore. We just have both the screens like that. That person can just, quit. All right, I don't know. Evidently they quit because there was only one person there. They didn't show up. This is for people that need that reinforcement. And if you go back to 109 last semester, or let's see, what is this, 111 last semester? There we go, fall. I think we didn't have it in Polycom, and I put it on mute because I can't stand to listen to myself talk. If you'll look, watch what happens. Is this the first day? Yeah, first day. And look, I'm going over the same stuff that I'm going over today. Okay, so if you want to see what we're going over tomorrow, you click on day 2. And that's what we're going to be going over tomorrow. And let's say that you want to see what we're going over the first day of class, 8.1. And it's also in retro. If you decide that you want to go over what we went over today, then I'll post this today, and you'll go and look at it, and whatever the case may be. So it's a benefit of no one but who? The students. And most of you will find out that that's what I'm driven by. I'm driven by the students learning. I'm not driven by anything else. No bureaucrats, no department heads, no deans. I'm driven by helping the student. Okay? As long as the student helps what? Themselves. Good job. Your parents did good. All right. So there's that. Now let's go to what you probably don't know, and that is free stuff. And everybody loves free stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Office portal. And some of you may already know about it, but I tell you, I've asked every class today and yesterday, and in a class like Pendleton, the last class in Pendleton had like 12 in it. One person raised their hand out of 12. Go to the office portal, click on log in. It's already logged me in. Let me log out. Where can I log out?
Right.
Right here. Just up. There we go. All right. There we go. When you go to the office portal and there, hit sign in and work or school. It's going to remember me. There. It'll take you to the Tri-County Tech login screen, and you put in your credentials, Tri-County Tech, or name, first initial, last name, or part of your last name, at tctc.edu. Type in your dang old password, and look at what you get. You get to install up to 5 devices. I think it's 5. Windows 365, or whatever it's called, Office 365, whatever the heck it's called. Okay? That includes Skype for Business. And what is Skype for Business? That's what I record with. That's what I hold class with. So let's say this happened last semester. I was teaching a polycom. I got a text. So-and-so said, I am at the Ford place right up here. I'm at the Ford place. They're not through with my car. Can I Skype in? Sure. She already had Skype for Business on her phone. Is Skype the same as Skype for Business?
No.
No. Do not forget about Skype. Skype for Business is what we use. When I say Skype, I mean Skype for Business. Skype is not Skype for Business. So she already had Skype for Business because she followed directions, and she did this the first day of class. This was like middle of the semester. And then she Skyped in, no problem. Versus the DA that calls me 5 minutes before class and says, what do I need to do? I have no idea. So they go to the handouts. They go print out a handout that should have printed out the first day of class. And they say, okay, Skype, I need to go here. I need to go here. And then they try to download Skype for Business in the next 5 minutes. And, of course, the computer explodes, lightning hits. Murphy's Law will always hit when you're what?
Least expected.
In a hurry or least expecting it. Usually when you're in a hurry. How many of you have had to turn in a term paper in like 5 minutes and the printer wouldn't print? Or your computer locked down? Murphy's Law will always hit when you're procrastinating. Okay? Go home tonight. I don't care how many devices you have, and download Skype for Business. And that way, if you have a flat tire and you can't leave the house, or if you have a sick baby, or if you have a sick parent that you have to take care of, or a sick brother and sister, or whatever the case may be, you can Skype. Now, does that mean you Skype in every day? No, this is not an online class, okay? You are expected to come to class. Now, there is going to be a version of Polycom in the future, but that's in the future, that's not now. So we're going to use the Skype for Business for emergencies, okay? Use them for emergencies, and I will count you here, but you have to do 2 or 3 things. 1, you have to use it sparingly. 2, you have to already have your stuff together and installed. 3, it says on the handout, how do you get into the class? You read the handout. The handout says that you email me, or I'm sorry, you text me with your name, full name, so I can look for you and pull you into the classroom. You do not call me with Skype, because all I'm going to do is not accept. I'm going to decline it, because that is not the way you bring people in. Okay? Now, if you're calling people one-on-one, yes, you do that. But if you're bringing somebody into a meeting, the presenter brings the person in. You don't call and invite yourself. Okay? It's kind of like the old thing with inviting yourself to somebody's house. You don't do that unless your parents didn't do their job. Okay, so that's how you do Skype for Business. Who's got a question about Skype? Emergencies, okay? After about the 3rd week, if you're Skyping in for the 3rd week, I'm going to start asking questions. Okay? All right, now let's go to Blackboard. And I'm going to Blackboard for 2 or 3 reasons. What are y'all? Anderson campus, what section are y'all? 111 what? Who's 11107? Or 111, which one are y'all?
111-012.
Okay, we'll just use 12. That's good. All right. Look up there. Y'all got an announcement right here. Let's see what that announcement says. Now, I want everybody to read this at least 7 times in their head, okay? That's a joke, but I want you to read it at least twice. There's a reason I want you to read it twice. Can anybody tell me why I want everybody to read that twice? Yeah, exactly. But the main reason is so no DA emails, no DA text messages, no DA calls this weekend to me saying, Hubert, I went on Blackboard, but I couldn't find any homework. You're not going to find any homework on Blackboard from me. Why? Because I don't use Blackboard. Why? Because half the time it's down. Okay? The second reason I don't use it is because where do I make up all my homework and test? In MyLabs Plus. So you want me to go to MyLabs Plus, make the homework, make the test, export it, and then bring it back over to to whatever this is called, Blackboard, and you want me to put it into Blackboard. So in other words, you want me to reinvent the what? The wheel. No, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. Okay? I believe in the KISS method. What is the KISS method?
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. And I'll let you use the last word. I don't like that word, but keep it simple. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel and go over to MyLabs Plus, make the work, export it, and bring it back over to Blackboard. I'm not going to do that. So, only reason you need to use Blackboard is to log in because Tri-County Tech wants you to log in for some odd reason. They want you to use Blackboard, and I don't know why. But anyway, maybe in 2025, maybe Tri-County Tech will get rid of all its T-Rexes, and maybe it'll be up on the times. But anyway, here we go with MyLabs Plus. Hit MyLabs Plus and hit it right here. Now watch this. I want everybody to watch this because this is going to happen to you, and you're not going to know what's going on. When you hit MyLabs Plus here, or you get on it and at home or whatever, there's going to be 2 or 3 things happen. It's not happening right now. It happened yesterday, but it's not happening right now. So we're going to use Hubert graphics here. You're going to have a box down here, and the box is going to have something about, and you need to put this on in your notebook, allow content. Some kind of bar down there, and it's going to say allow content. You need to hit that. Or you're going to have, I hate to be like this, you're going to have this, I'm going to do this in dang old highlight, dang old red. You see that shield right there? That shield will be enabled. Or you'll have a red X. right there. Everybody seen that before? Right click on one of those things and make sure you allow what? Allow pop-ups. You're not going to see them, but allow pop-ups. That's the number one reason that you're going to hear people say, well, I got logged on, but when I try to pull it up at home, it won't come up. It'll just be a white screen, or it'll just be this screen right here. The reason is you're not doing one of those three things. Or your malware or your protection software is conflicting with the pop-ups or whatever, and that's when you need to call the 188 number. You don't need to call Hubert, okay? Because I cannot help you past these three things right here. I can't help you because I don't know your computer, okay? Any questions on that? Okay, so now that you're got into My Labs Plus and you got registered, let's look at My Labs Plus, and this is what we're going to do Wednesday, because we're about finished today, because that's all I'm going to cover today. I'm going to cover this one section, and then we're going to talk about something else. Go to, wait a minute, here we go. I'm just going to go right here and pull up this. This is another, let me just, shut up. Shut up. Pendleton, y'all need to settle down. Are have y'all muted yourself, or what? Are y'all just not going to talk? Is that it? Easily, I done gave up on Easily. They just sitting there like, I think they've hit pause. Okay, they moved. I saw somebody move. Okay, Pendleton, they still haven't moved. They're on pause. Look, okay, one guy moved. He moved. One girl moved. So y'all gonna have to interact, okay? Okay, y'all do realize that I'm interactive. I hope y'all realize that. Y'all need to go to Rate My Professor. I hope it says I'm interactive. I hope it doesn't say anything bad. I'm scared to look at it. Go to Rate My Professor for your teachers. There's some funny things in there. Oh God, there's funny stuff in there.
So you look at other teachers, but not yourself.
I will not look at myself. No, there's three things I will not do. I will not record myself. I won't listen to myself. I will not video myself, and I will not go and look at remarks. I will not look at my evaluations. I let my boss look at it. Okay, so look at here. What's this? Well, Hubert, I didn't get those on the email. I didn't get that email. Well, there they are right there. Oh gosh, Hubert, you took that excuse away from me. Oh well, I'm sorry. There's all the information I just gave you. Ain't that nice? Bastard. I can hear y'all right now. You take away all my excuses. All right, so here we go. Let's pull up a test. What? Hubert's going to pull up a test? Why is he going to pull up a test? Because I want to show you something. If I can find... First of all, I'm not stupid enough to pull up a test and give you the same exact test for your test. Okay? We'll explain that tomorrow. I'll explain all that tomorrow when we do look at the test. But I'm just going to pull up a test. I'll pull up the algebra review test. I think I put them on there too. And these are where all my bonus questions come from. What are bonus questions? Well, questions that DAs have asked in the past. Okay? And I put them on here. Here's number one. If you look at your overall grade one day, and it has decreased from several days ago, what has happened? I will take D as an answer. I will take D as an answer. But the actual answer is what? A 0 has been placed. Now, a lot of you are saying, well, this guy's just trying to be funny. No, I'm not. This comes from an actual student at the end of the semester asking me, why did my grade decrease? Okay, this comes from not a question, all right? This comes from a departmental thing that we had to do where we had to incorporate our syllabus and our handouts into an assignment, whether it be a homework assignment, a quiz, or a test. So I just made it a bonus question. You will notice that I did not do anything defamatory against the Navy, the Army, or the Air Force. For those of you that don't know, that's the Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts, and the Cub Scouts, okay? Now, if you do notice that D has the United States in front of it, so chances are the answer is D, even if you did not read the information sheet, okay? Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, and Cub Scouts, they're right there. Okay. I think this is the department of the, let's see, what is, oh yeah, the women's department. Yeah, that's it. All right. Must be a squid. Yeah. All right. So, look at this one. Number one most missed bonus question out of the 15 bonus questions I give. Number one, I had 30 students take this test when I first started doing this. 5 students missed this question.
That's sad.
That's why we have live PD. Why did they miss this question?
Scared to look.
Because 30 and 30 and 30 does not equal what?
100.
And they picked 30, 30, 30, and it doesn't equal 100. So the answer is, hey, some of y'all are starting to get these questions and that there's only one logical answer.
Yeah.
But some of y'all, it takes like the 3rd or 4th test before y'all figure that out. If you mean, I said y'all, I didn't mean Easley, and I didn't mean Pendleton, and I didn't mean Andrews. I said y'all, that means students in general. If you miss a question on a test, this was 2 semesters ago. I had a student call me like 5,000 times. And I'm like, chill. If you miss a question on a test and you believe it is correct, what do? Call Hubert's office 5 or 6 times. Ask Hubert if you can meet with him after class. Send several emails to Hubert with the last one saying, hello, scream and throw a temper tantrum.
There is one logical answer.
Logical, exactly. Thank you. Now, another question about this. What if you have a meltdown during a test and nothing goes right, lightning hits your house, a flood comes along, your dog dies, your cat eats the keyboard, all right? Let's say that all that happens.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, the only thing you need to do the next class, okay?
Hey, you got a laugh out of them.
Yeah, they laughed, but I didn't see them. I didn't see them laugh. Who laughed? All I was getting to see, I think, did y'all see Easley move? Yeah, the guy on the left moved. Okay, he moved. But, okay, the only thing I see, no offense, guys, I'm going to call y'all the Three Stooges because that's all I see. I see 3 guys there in the Pendleton campus. I don't see anybody else. 3 guys. Y'all have to move around. Okay, 4, I'm sorry. You have to move around a little bit, Pendleton, okay, so the camera will pick you up. Okay. Easley has got that down. See, they don't move, so the camera don't move. So it just sits there. Okay, I'm just picking on y'all. Y'all tough. Do y'all need a cry closet or a puppy or anything? Y'all good? Okay. When is the week of finals? Oh, this is a question I love. I'm offended. There's 2 questions that I've offended on. This one is one of them. Why would they say I'm offended here? Well, the person that was offended didn't even know that was Pearl Harbor. The person that fussed was on another question, and the question here is December 4th to the 10th. It's the only logical question.
Yep.
But there's another question on here that asks you when, well, we'll just wait now. I'll tell you the whole story when we get there. All right. Does Hubert replace your lowest test grade with a final exam grade? This came after, this was last semester. No, fall. Yeah, I had a 120 class, and I had a student that came in every day with no book, no pencil, deadhead, just, I don't know what his problem was. Anyway, at the end of the semester, he goes, I thought one of your questions said that you dropped your lowest test grade and put the exam in there. That's the question right there he was referring to. Does Hubert replace your lowest test grade with your final exam grade? No way, no how. He got 4 unit tests, this question 4 times, and at the end of the semester, he thought it said that I replaced your lowest test with your exam grade. See where this stuff comes from? I mean, I don't understand it. Math question. This is the second most missed bonus question because it has the only phone number right here. It's the only phone number. But people, I don't know if that's an actual number. I wouldn't,
Yeah, definitely
I
not.
don't think I would call it, okay? Because you might get some kind of weird something, okay? If you take several forms of a test in Hubert's class, how is it counted? He takes the highest grade and drops the lowest. Again, these are questions that people ask at the end of the semester. When does the homework terminate? Toward the end of the unit material, when Hubert sets the date in My Labs Plus during class. I will do that during the class time after we pull up the test. Math question. What should a student do if something happens and they are out of class for a while?
You'll accept A, right?
I'll accept A, but the correct answer is B. This happened. Did I tell you about the student that was on the cruise?
Yeah.
That's where this one comes from. Okay? Math question. This is, okay, now I'm going to tell you this story because this is the offended question. I put this question on a test, and after I had 2 people come up, and this was when I was giving hard test, and they came up and they said, "I'm offended," and I said, "Why are you offended?" Because I'm not an offended person. You can call me a blah 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 SOB blah blah blah. I don't care, okay? But we, in the land of snowflakes and buttercups, we have people that are offended over anything. And they were offended because of Judgment Day. And I was being sacrilegious to the Bible. Okay, first of all, I was born and raised a Southern Baptist. Okay, I grew up in a church where the men still sat on the left side of the church and the women sat on the right side. All right, so don't tell me I'm sacrilegious. Okay, the whole point is I'm a faithful person, so I do not make fun of my faith, okay? But Judgment Day is a movie, okay? It is one of the Terminator movies, okay? And I just told her, I said, that's a movie. Well, the next one came up and said, I have a cousin's, brother's, aunt, sister's, brother-in-law's, granddaughter's sister that was in 9/11, or in one of the buildings, and she died. And I'm offended because you're making fun of that. Well, first of all, I'm not making fun of it because it's an answer to a question. It's a possible answer to a question. The second thing I'm doing is I'm having people remember it because I'm having people see the date. Okay, I don't want it. And then I said to her, well, I don't think that's being not sacrilegious. I don't think that's being insensitive. I said, if that was true, I would be insensitive to December 7th, 1941. And without batting an eye, she looked at me with the most serious look on her face. And can anybody guess what she said?
What's
that? So here we have a person complaining, and that's usually the way this offensive thing goes. They complain about something, but they have no idea about something else. Okay? She didn't even know about December 7th, 1941. But she's complaining about September 11th, 2011. Listen, keep your cry closets at home because that crap ain't going to work in here, okay? I don't say anything offensive to y'all, and if I do, you can get over it. All right? So this is Judgment Day. I think Judgment Day is correct, right? No, it's Monday, December 3rd. Okay, y'all should know that because it's in your academic calendar. The academic calendar is on the web, so you need to find it. In your grade book, to find your final grade after you have completed all your assignments, a week after finals, I get a phone call asking me, where do I find my final grade? And I'm sorry, but tomorrow, which is Thursday, I will go over all of the buttons that you need to know about in MyLabs Plus. And I don't see how you could overlook the button that says what?
Overall
Grade book. Or overall grade, which is in the grade book. So that's that. Next question. Math should be about through with all these. Zero silts, that's basically what incomplete. How do I test you? I give you 3 forms of a test, and I take the highest grade. Okay? And I give you these bonus questions on each test. Again, review. If you have an incomplete assignment, what will that do to your grade? It will decrease it. I didn't know that incomplete grades decrease my grade. That's what I was told. Okay? And again, you got to remember, some of these people are just trying to find a what? An excuse. They screwed up. They didn't do an assignment. They didn't think cow horns would hook. And they did. And now they saw that cow horns would hook. They have to retreat to an excuse. The Russians. All right? So, it's not a carrier pigeon. It is what? Cell phone. We went over that a few minutes ago. So, as you can see, now I'm going over this for a reason. A lot of you think I'm trying to be funny, but I'm not. I'm going over it for a reason. How much are these a point? These are about 4 points apiece. How many questions did I give you? Bonus questions.
A lot.
15. Yeah, I think the 15. There's about 15, but 10's a good guess. Let's say 10 to 15. 10 would be 40 points. 15 would be what?
That's hard.
Like 60, right? Lowest grade you can make on this test is about a 60. Will people make below a 60?
Most likely.
Yep. 52s, 47, 36s. Now, I'm speaking in general. I'm not speaking about Math 111. I doubt very seriously that I'm going to have a 56 in Math 111. Just as good as I know I'm not going to have a 56 in Diffie-Q or Calc 3 or Calc 1. You see what I'm saying? I'm speaking in general. These, I doubt very seriously that any of these questions came from a 111, a college algebra, or above. Okay? But it makes a little bit, gives the room a little bit, breaking the ice, and it kind of, makes you laugh and things like that. But the whole point is, some of these things you do need to think about. Okay? All right. Now, there's 2 things that I want everybody to do tonight or the next couple of days. One, your priority is get your, access code, however you want to get it, and get registered into MyLabs Plus. That is your number one priority before next Thursday, if possible. I do realize there's some cases to where you have to wait, and I would like to get everybody in there in the next week, okay? But I want everybody to try to get in there Thursday as soon as possible, latest in the week. The second thing I want you to do is go ahead and get your supplies. I don't care what you get, okay? You don't have to bring a book. You can bring a book. I do ask that you bring a piece of notebook paper and a pencil. At least don't be a deadhead, okay? Bring notebook paper, your graphing calculator, highlighters. You need highlighters in here because I do a lot of highlighting, okay? Especially different colors. At least have 3 or 4 different colors, okay? Or you can use a colored pencil or colored pens. I'll take either 3. But we do a lot of vertical shift and horizontal shift in the review, and I go over a lot of that, and you need to highlight. Okay, with the graph of the sine and the cosine, and with the hypotenuse and all that, I highlight, I color. Okay, so that means you need to color in your nose. Okay, besides calling the roll, I'm going to open up the floor for any questions you have. We've got about 4 or 5 minutes, so that does not mean pack up and get ready to go. That's considered rude. Okay, just chill for a minute. I would like to call a roll. All right? Only movement I see from anybody, y'all packing up. I see where your priorities are. Y'all just want to leave. I'm just kidding. Can I borrow your pen? I don't use pens much. Now, do not leave. I'm going to call the roll. Do not leave. All right. First of all, it's Orocho. Orocho. Guess he's not here. Bennett. Gillespie. Is it Heather?
Oh, you got it right.
Is it Heather?
Yeah.
Good.
Good job.
I'm a graduated redneck. I know stuff. Mr. Lee. Okay. Lindsay. I heard, is that here? Okay. Okay, two things in my class. Volume and enunciate. Okay, I want everybody to be articulate, enunciate. Don't do like y'all do on the phone. McGaha.
Here.
Nettles.
Present.
Reese.
Here.
Shingleton.
Yes, sir.
All right. Easley Campus. Arblaster.
Here.
Cody.
Here.
Dub.
Here.
Sexton.
Here.
Sword.
Here.
Are you kin to Brian?
Yep.
Oh, bless your heart.
Yeah.
All right. And Pendleton Campus. Y'all settle down. Armstrong.
Here.
Bitely.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Carlin.
Here.
Cunningham.
Here.
Evans. Leather. I guess it was. Guzmus.
Here.
Leviner.
Here.
Is that Leviner or Leviner?
Leviner.
Okay. I will put a little line over it. There we go. Lofton.
Here.
Nitz.
Here.
Rudiger.
Here.
Is that correct?
You've had me in your class before.
I know, but that was online. Is it Rudiger?
Yeah.
Okay. Santana. I'm sorry. Santana Flores.
Here.
Did I say that correct?
Yes.
Dang old graduate. Schaefer.
Here. It's Schaffer though.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put a dang old mark over that. Schaefer. All right. Now, if anybody's got any questions, what?
It's Schaffer.
Schaffer.
Yes, sir.
Schaffer.
No.
Schaffer.
No.
Schaffer.
No. Schaffer.
I know, but that's not pronounced Schaffer, so I'm writing it so I can remember to pronounce it Schaffer.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's my way or no way. All right. Some of y'all women, y'all know why that goes, okay? All right. Now, any questions for me? See me after class. The rest of y'all get out of here. Have a good day. See y'all Thursday. Any questions? See me after class.